Yo, welcome back to another video. This time we're doing poison type Pikachu. Now this is one of those where I didn't really have a plan going in, so I sort of just winged it, designed things as I went along. There was one thing that I knew I wanted to include, which was some sort of like droopy sludge element, which is what I added to its ears. I was also going to add it to his cheeks, as you can see here, but I ended up going with some markings that I've seen on some frogs and sea creatures that are poisonous, and that was my initial idea for part sort of, at the end of its limbs as well, but I ended up changing that to just darker markings, not really resembling poison, but just to add an extra characteristic of this design. As for the tail, you can see that I had a couple ideas earlier on that I tried out, but they looked a bit too bulky. I just didn't feel like it fit, so I ended up going with this long thin tail with a stinger on the end, sort of like a scorpion or something. I also end up adding a horn and some protrusions on the side of his head, so spiky spikes. They're poisonous as well, as you can see later on when I color it. Adding these sort of spikes on the side of a face is actually a design element that I love adding to all sorts of designs that I've done in the past. It just makes the character look a lot. It can really add to the character, make it look more epic and more badass overall. As for the sludge that I added on his ears, I was gonna add it on the ends of his hands as well, as like a way for it to attack using that sludge. But I don't know, it just didn't really work in my mind after I kept looking at it, and I just end up changing it into just a generic pattern instead of an actual sludge. But I did make the claws poisonous. Again, you'll see this later on when I color it in. Oh, just real quick, those two bumps on his back, completely unnecessary. It's just me adding things without needing to. I end up deleting it in the final drawing. So yeah, just letting you know. Okay, as for the color, obviously primarily purple, that's what screams out poison. And I had the sludge, and all the poisonous parts essentially are going to be this pinkish color. Now the orange parts are actually where the poison in its latent form is stored, and it travels up as it's being processed into the pink areas where it is effective. Now I know the eyes are orange, and I felt like it was weird. I was like, why would there be poison from the eyes? So I end up changing that color later on into a more like a darker pink color to sort of give more harmony with the pink that already exists on it. And as for the ends of his limbs, I just went with a super dark purple, something to just sort of frame up the character and just sort of block off the ends. Otherwise I felt like it looked a bit plain, which is normal because it's Pikachu. It's allowed to look plain, it's allowed to look simplistic, that's its design. But I just couldn't help myself. I like adding things, and that's what fan art's for, right? You sort of add your own flair to it. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think. I'll be back with another one soon. Catch ya. Thanks for watching.